was only, well, I was in the lobby. I was in the lobby of the hotel when Sam had that meeting, only 20 metres, 30 metres away. And so I talked to Sam, and he specified what had been said, so, they could have saved, and we would have to have been satisfied with that, because our heart's whole.
So what was your role, Dave? You didn't have, you were just a messenger.
Well, in a sense, yeah.
Yeah, in that sense.
Yeah. Because I'd been through Africa before, and I'd been lobbying for the boycott and that crucial meeting in Lagos with the minister. So my whole role was to try and build up, the need for a boycott of the Olympics. Because
but at the time, all you were doing this. Who told Lance Cross that message? Was it you? Did you pass that on to him?
No. That was directly from Sam Ramsamy and Lord
and that's where you were 30 metres from that?
Yeah, I'm 30 metres away. I wasn't privy to the discussion, but so I talked to Sam almost immediately after, and he said, "Look, that's the final. That's what we've put to Lance Cross."
Did you talk to Lance Cross yourself?
No,
never.
No, he wouldn't talk to me.
Who did you talk to? Only the Africans?
Only the Africans, really. Yeah. And the New Zealand journos who were there,
So tell me about the New Zealand journos again.
Well, they just were beside themselves, I was a traitor, to New Zealand, and I wasn't telling the story correctly. I was lying about payments to all people, because teachers went, that's what we were saying. If there was a teacher, they still got paid their salary when they're part of the All Blacks.
Yeah.
We weren't saying that they were being paid by.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
And well, no, that's not true. And they just, and one of them, I can't remember his name, on an escalator. I was convinced he was ready to throw a punch at me, and knock me down the escalator. They didn't want to know about, didn't want to report accurately what was going on, and therefore they missed. They just thought it was impossible. The third party boycott, New Zealand playing rugby, the Africans are not going to, walk away from the Olympics because of that. Disbelief, total disbelief. And so therefore, you're just a little shit-ass from New Zealand stirring it up.
So what about the Canadians then?
Well, the Canadian Olympic Committee and government, I guess, must have been part of some of these discussions and probably referred to, but they were on the periphery of it. It was a decision being made by the Africans and the Organisation of African Unity. So they would have been in the loop somewhere.
They must have been pissed off.
They would have been, yeah. But I, we could research it. They were very diplomatic about it. In the press releases that I saw and information I could find out, in the sense that we understand why the Africans have made this decision. So it was they didn't go off. I can't remember a whole lot in the papers.
But you weren't dealing with the Canadians.
No.
I see. Okay, yeah. And what about the diplomats? Were there foreign affairs there?
Well, it would have been. Yeah, it would have been. Oh, you mean New Zealand?
New Zealand?
No, I can't remember any. I think once again they just probably thought this is never going to come off. Or they've been given strict instructions from Muldoon. You don't get involved in this stuff. We're going to. The All Black tour's going to go ahead, and we're going ahead.
As a guy,
and don't get involved.
So, what happened when you got back? Did you keep your head down?
Well, I didn't come back to New Zealand. I went back to London. So then, because of all that, I was quite heavily involved in the Glen Eagles stuff. The fallout.
Subsequently, Glen Eagles came afterwards.
Yeah, Glen Eagles came afterwards, you see, and Muldoon had to give in, but it was a very wishy-washy give in at Glen Eagles. But that was taken up by, what was his name, the head of Commonwealth Secretariat.
Sonny Rumfile.
Sonny Rumfile.
And Jeremy Pope.
Yeah. So they took and said, at that stage, the real pressure went on Muldoon. Fraser from Australia was prepared to sign it, and that Muldoon was isolated completely. So we ran big demonstrations outside Muldoon's hotel, when he was staying in London. New Zealand was London. We had about 150 people outside his hotel.
Was Peter Hain there?
He would have been, Peter Hain would have visited, not in everyone, but he was involved, yeah.
Would it be interesting to have any Poms on this, British? Not really. In the story,
not really.
40 years on.
Yeah.
Now it's Africa, New Zealand, Canada.
Well, yeah, Canada.
But it's the Olympic thing remembering, isn't it?
Yeah.
And an Olympic year.
Yeah. So, but certainly afterwards, with Sonny Ramphal putting on the pressure, Muldoon, but the wording to Glen Eagles wasn't. That was one of the tours that Muldoon banned Tom Scott from being on. Tom Scott wanted to join the New Zealand Judos. I managed to get a press pass.
To where?
To the various conferences. It was press rooms.
At Glen Eagles?
Not right at Glen Eagles, but when Muldoon gave them before he went to Glen Eagles. Because I just got press as a journalist for Heart News, and they gave me one. The security checking wasn't great, so I was sitting at the back, with some of them, Muldoon. See, their intelligence service wasn't very good.
So Tom was in London?
No, Tom wanted to go as
from New Zealand.
Yeah. I'm sure that was one of the ones where Muldoon said, "I'm not having him on," and he didn't go.
So when did you're hardly a household name, Dave, although you were there, and you didn't try to make yourself one, presumably. You came down and kept your head down.
Yeah. Well, I didn't come back till 1980, you see.
Oh, where were you?
In London. I just kept living in London. I had a long-term relationship, and I kept myself alive by, I had some very good jobs actually, working for banks and Total Royal and Whitbread. I ended up working for Whitbread's the Brewers.
Really?
And then of course because I with Sandrock, because I'd kind of established my credibility, I did a lot more work for them. I represented South Africa at the first International Darts Federation meeting. I think I talked about Dowie the Wickham.
Oh yeah, I know that story. It's weird. Okay,